let's go have some fun. We got some snow out there. Hopefully you don't see me. Okay, so I'm going to try something a little different here. I see every now and then people on other YouTube videos and that complain about that you can't put the snow exactly where you want it with a snowblower, which I call BS on, and I want to kind of explain how and why I do this driveway this way. So first thing I'm going to do here, you're going to see me do, is I'm going to make a couple passes right here straight out of the garage door. What this allows me to do is it'll give me a spot to turn around. It also just gives me a better spot to get out where I'm not backing over packing snow. So we'll get that started first. And I figured I'd do this on this video because I only got one camera view, and I don't know why my other camera didn't record. So I'll make 3 or 4 passes wide here as I'm trying to be careful not to back into the garage door. And there's the other thing you can notice is you see how the fine snow is drifting towards my left side, and I'm keeping my blower down lower, the chute down lower, to not throw so much out that it drifts back where I don't want it. So between, like, you don't have to throw it real far right away. So another thing you can kind of cheat at is keep your snout down lower, blow it to the edge of your driveway, like your edge of your, if you're starting on like this one here, if I'm starting on the left side of the driveway, I'm going to work my way to the right side of the driveway. I can throw it all right, but still keep it on the driveway. And then that last 2 or 3 passes, I'll crank it way up and throw it way back then. So there I made it, got my little spot cleared out. I shut the garage door and I made a pass down. Now you'll watch here, I'll be real careful. I'm actually going to pick up, I'm going to go across the sidewalk and pick up on the snowblower so I don't gouge into the grass that I'm going over top of right now. And as you see, I'm throwing back towards my right side. And now we're going to back up. And I'm going to back up into that spot that I made opening. It seems to work out pretty good to leave that opening spot right there. As you can see, it's nice and wide. And we're going to make another pass down. You see, I'm really not blowing high. I'm just trying to throw it off to the side where I don't have to worry about it. As you can see, the wind is coming from my right side to my left side. Here again, when I get to the sidewalk, once I cross our sidewalk to the approach, I'll pick up a little bit. And there we go. And we'll just repeat this one more time. Trying to figure out my lighting yet. This was an older video where I didn't quite have memorized what buttons did what. Like I said, I'm only throwing it maybe 10 feet to my right. I'm not trying to throw it super far this first time because the wind's just going to blow it right back on me. As you can see the light there on the top right corner of the door, how much snow is blowing around. I just flip my beacon light on. Now this one, a lot of people can't figure out why I do this. This is interesting, but so I'm going to make a pass along the road here. I'm throwing it back up into the yard. And I'll do this up until right up tight to the curb. The whole purpose of that is when the snowplow comes through, as you can see, this road hasn't been plowed yet. It allows what he's pushing on his blade to roll off of his blade before it gets to the driveway. So it just gives him a clear spot to kind of unload his blade, and it doesn't end up so much in the driveway. And as you can see, I am blowing snow into where I already cleared, but as you see the way I'll do this driveway, that is not a issue at all. Yeah. I mean, you can put the snow wherever you want. It's just how much time do you want to spend doing it. If you wanted to put the snow all on a pile in the middle of your yard, you could do it with a snowblower. There's no problem with it. It would just take a little bit longer than, a loader or a bucket or a plow, but it is doable. And we're going to whip around here. And I missed my lineup. So now that I got along the curb cleared, I'm going to throw this snow on the approach to the driveway up further into the driveway. And I'll kind of explain why I do that here a little bit later in this video. But it does two things. It does keep the snowbanks down at the end of the driveway, but I mainly do it for a different reason. I'll show you here. So we'll make a couple passes at doing that. As you can see, I'm actually throwing it mostly in the driveway, a little bit on the front lawn. I know it's kind of hard to tell in this video. You can't really see where the driveway is in that, but if you can see the snow markers there above my head, that is the edge of the driveway. So this driveway is 3-stall garage width wide. It is a pretty decent sized driveway. But the approach is 24 or 26 feet wide, because you can't have, or in our city, you can't have an approach any wider than 24 or 26 feet, whatever the hell it is. We were planning on making it the full width, but the city kind of said nope. So it is what it is. So the other thing with just pushing this up into the driveway here, it also puts me on the road for the shortest amount of time possible. I don't really like sitting on the road just because there's so many distracted drivers nowadays, and people that don't pay attention, people that'll just not really care and try to take off your head or tractor or smash right into and whatever. So now that I got most of this approach done, I think I'm going to make one more pass here. Caught up on the curb, backed up, pulled over a little bit. And there we go, we slid a little bit. And if you don't like this video and don't like me talking over it, I have plenty other videos where I don't talk over top of it. Now you see, once I got off the road, I did kill my strobe light just because this is early in the morning. And I'm going to kill a couple backlights here so I don't blind my neighbor, because I'm backing pretty much right up against his house. So I'm going to stop here for a second, kill some lights so I'm not shining them right into their bedroom windows. And now, the way this house is, being an L-shaped house like this, what I'm trying to do here is get lined up to toss that snow that you see me shoveled away, that I shoveled away from the garage doors, down a little bit. What this allows me to do is actually toss that snow into the front yard, just past the corner of the house here. And that'll actually make me a spot to back up into, so I don't gotta back up onto the road. If at all possible, I kind of like going from the garage to the road. It just keeps you off the road a little bit better, and you don't gotta worry about getting hit quite as bad. Now, like I said, this is still pretty early in me building this cab. This video was shot back in January. So as you see, when I back up, I am not looking at my cameras. I'm actually looking behind me. I have gotten better at that, but when we started here, it was more or less getting used to the whole cab before I worried too much about getting used to the cameras. I just wanted to get used to the cab first, and plus I'm backing up to a wall that has a 3-foot drop off of it, so yeah, I'd prefer not to drive the tractor off the edge of it. And like I said, you can still see the wind is not in my favor in this situation, but yet it is still doable. Yeah. Try not to hit the reindeer sitting there. And now I'm going to back up into this opening I just created and start going down. Flip on a couple lights again. And as you see, I'm actually kind of throwing this down the driveway, and as I get up, I kind of kick back towards me. My goal is to mostly put most of the snow in the front yard. So now here's where creating that opening at the end of the driveway does. Is the way this John Deere snowblower is, it does not, like, it doesn't scrape 100% of the snow when you pick up. You always let this little pile. So when I go down, I push all the way down to the road through my clear spot. So as I'm coming down here, snowblower's taking in snow, throwing it out. But I have 6-7 feet here to allow the snowblower to clean out. And then what's remaining in the snowblower, I just set on the edge of the road here, and I come back and get it at the end. So we'll just keep doing that. Like I said, still just looking back, not really using my cameras. Just still trying to get used to this cab. This is only like the 3rd or 4th time I use this cab. So it was a different experience going from an open station to having a cab on, put it that way. And now as you see here, I kicked my chute down a little bit lower because I'm getting closer to my edge. I'm trying to make a good bank of snow there on the edge of the driveway. And then when I make my last couple passes, I'll toss that way over into the front yard. And as you see, there's really not a heck of a lot of snow out here. So I'm just trying to clean up a little bit of dribbles off that came off the edge of the snowblower. And as you can see, that row of snow I'm actually letting there on the road. Right there, you can see it pretty good. And we'll just keep doing this for a whole bunch more times. Just again, cleaning up a little bit of dribbles that came off the snowblower. As you can see, that wind is not in my favor. So like I said, I do like doing it this way because it does keep me off the road. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning right now, or 4 o'clock in the morning, so really don't got to worry too much about cars. But this is a pretty well-traveled road. So at like 7 o'clock in the morning, you have all these soccer moms dropping their little crotch goblins off at school. You have everybody going to work. And the road is pretty busy in the morning. So it is also nice to have a busy road, though, because it is one of the first roads that the city opens up. The city does the main highways, and then this street is probably about one of their main priority streets after the opening up the highways through town. As you see here, I'm throwing it a little bit further now because I'm getting close to the edge, so I'm trying to kick it back into the yard now. And cleaning up a little bit of dribbles. I do actually like the cab pretty well. I mean, like I said, it's not a necessity, but it is a luxury, put it that way. It's not something you have to have, but if you can have it, I ain't gonna complain about it. Like here, I'm trying to throw the snow into the wind. I would have been getting plastered with it. As you can see, the door is getting all speckled. The other thing about trying to throw the snow on the edge of the driveway and then your last couple passes to throw it back further, you actually allows you to pack more snow into the snowblower, and it makes more of a concentrated stream of snow, I should say, something like that. So it doesn't quite blow as bad. As you see these passes I'm making here, this will be the almost last pass. Once I get going here, you see it's a lot more of a bigger stream of snow. It's not so much fine stuff blowing in front of the cab that you can see in the lights. So even once I kick back here a little bit more, try not to run over my snow stakes, you'll see a little bit of fine stuff going in front of the cab. Right atop my head there, you can see it in the lights. But it's not nearly as bad as if you try to start only blowing an inch of snow. Because this way, time you get onto this side of the driveway, you got 4 or 5 inches of snow over there instead of an inch of snow. So you can throw it a lot further, and it just seems to work a little bit better. Now, I hate cleaning up along the edge of driveways and sidewalks because just trying not to rip the grass up too bad, and also not to eat too many snow stakes. I normally break at least 1 snow stake a year. So I try to edge up on it real carefully. You can see, trying to see there through the edge. My side camera there was a good idea, but it actually is really hard to see the snow stakes in that. So if you see the three screens, or the 2 screens on my left side there, that bottom one I have mounted on the loader mount bracket, looking straight up the edge of the snowblower. It isn't quite as useful as I thought it would be, put it that way. But it didn't cost me anything to do it. It was a camera that came with the cab, so figured it was worth a try. So now, as you see, I'm going to go back here one more time and just try to get fine detail along that edge there. Like I said, I like to clear the driveways as wide as possible without ripping up the lawn. So if you're new to this channel and haven't seen some of my videos, I do. I'll just throw that in here while we're repeatedly doing this. I do post a lot of lawn mowing videos. I want to post a couple other ones this year. It is my goal. When I get to them, I don't know, but I do have snow videos. They were getting down to the end here, so I got this one, and I just filmed another one today. So now I'm actually going to go around here and clean up that little pile I left. So we wee around. We're going to bump up against that curb again. And I'm going to kick my chute straight down in front of me. And we're just going to clean up that little pile I pushed on the driveway. You see I'm throwing it in front of me. Once I get past the driveway, I'll kick it over and throw it onto the, I don't know what you want to call it, curbing, approach, I don't know. And we'll back up. And as you see, as soon as I got on the road, I did flip my strobe light back on. In our city, any snow equipment entering the roadway must have a beacon light visible 360 degrees, according to our statutes. And even the ATVs doing it must have to have a light. So, are supposed to have a light, and I just prefer not to piss people off, so I'll follow their rules because it does make sense. Like I said, keep that curb clean and clear. Also makes it a lot nicer when the snow starts melting in the spring for it to run down better. And we're right tight up against the curb now. I'm just gonna make one last pass here. I do really like the windshield wiper on this cab, but I wish it gets about a third of the windshield. It lets a bunch in that bottom left corner, and it's kind of a little annoying. And we'll zip around, a little slidey. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Where am I going? Oh yeah, I'm doing it along the curb. Okay, I got you now. I'm throwing it back the other way around the curb now. Kind of caught me off guard there. So like I said, this road wasn't plowed, so I just wanted to make sure I had a big enough spot for that snowplow to empty out his blade before he throws it back into the driveway. That is also why you see on the edge of the driveway there, I'm 2 swipes past the edge there, cleared that curbing off. As I back up here, you'll see right here, I cleared that grass off there. That does, if he is pushing his blade all the way up against the curbing, it does allow his blade to empty out and not throw so much in the driveway. And you don't have to have a big tractor to do that. You could do that with a shovel. You could do that with a little walk behind a snowblower, just to clear a little spot off there, and you'll end up with a lot less snow in your driveway from the snowplow. It does work pretty good. And now, like I said, I'm also trying to be careful here. I didn't say this yet, but I'm not trying to throw a bunch of snow onto the neighbor's sidewalk where he's got to shovel it off then. Just trying to clear the curb. And level check behind us that no one's coming down the hill. Now, like I said, it doesn't look like... why do I keep saying like I said? It doesn't look like it, but this is a pretty decent sized hill. And now here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to clear the curbing off. This is more or less on this side just to keep the snowbanks. Oh, no, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to go up and clean in front of the house. So I do clear this spot off just as kind of a courtesy to the mail lady. If I didn't, by the end of the winter, there would be about 2 feet of snow here. And our mail lady does like to walk in front of the houses instead of the sidewalk. So a little shorter distance instead of walking down the driveway, back up the driveway, down the driveway, back up the driveway. So I normally make 2 swipes here just to kind of keep that a little bit shallower for her to come through. And it also does help in spring with when everything starts thawing out. And here too, I'm actually dropping the snowblower down and actually picking it up a little bit just to not tear up the grass too bad. And make sure we are running over the reindeer on this side there. That is frozen to the ground. And I guess that I haven't watched this video first, so. Okay, we're going to do the sidewalk here now. So as you see, and I put most of that snow, we're going to get out and clean the window. I put most of that snow into the driveway. I put the, well, sorry, I got distracted. I put most of that snow into the front yard and put it pretty much where I wanted it. And I just bumped my wiper. That's where that thing came off. Huh. Okay. I figured out why that messed up. As you see, my wiper is popped off right now, and I don't even notice it till up here a little bit later. And I was kind of wondering what happened. But when I cleaned off the built-up snow on the window, I hit it with my glove. So, I'm watching my snow stakes. Just clearing down, throwing this into the front yard. Like I said, I try to get most of the snow into the front yard. Unless the wind is really bad, then I'll throw it between me and the other neighbor. I don't like doing it, and there I realized my wiper was fucked up. But we're going to go up here to the corner post. And with the snowblower, if you pick up a little bit and keep going to push a little bit past where you want to go, you don't let so much snow sit there at the end. And I'll go back out there with a shovel and scrape that little bit that I left there. And our sidewalks are about 48 inches wide. This snowblower is 47. Or no, our sidewalks are 52 inches wide, I think. And this snowblower is 47. Don't quote me on that. I gotta go measure a sidewalk again. But this snowblower doesn't. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is this snowblower does not cover the entire width of the sidewalk. So I end up making a second pass about 4 or 6 inches over. And like I said, picked up, kept pushing forward, try to clean off that edge a little bit. Only left that one little pile there, 2 little piles. And I think I'll make a third pass here just to kind of try to scrape everything down a little bit better. This is just really more of a cleanup than anything, just to try to scrape down a little bit more and clean up any little leftover pieces. And now I believe we'll do the curbing here next to me. Oh, we're gonna make one more pass. Okay, like I said, I didn't pre-watch this video. Just trying to kind of give you my mindset of how I do this. I try to take a little extra time on getting the sidewalks as clean as possible, just because as so happy as everybody is nowadays, you'd hate to have somebody walk and slip and fall and want to sue your butt. And we're also being careful not to take out the corner post. As you see, it is right there, and it is, yeah. I'm gonna spin around and get the sidewalk here on the other side, apparently. And you can tell there, between the wall there and this corner post, there isn't a lot of property between me and my neighbor there on this side. So that's why I like to try to throw the snow into the front yard, because any snow that I would throw on that side, like when it's super windy, I do throw snow over that way. I don't like doing it, but yeah, I'm cheating here. Sue me. Any snow that is here on this left side of me has to run through the backyards, and the neighbors on the back property line always have water problems because everything's slanted that way. Like, that water runs downhill, nothing we can really do about it. And here we go. So this here is more or less just to keep the snowbanks down in the end of the driveway. It's no fun backing out of a driveway when the snowbanks are 3-4 feet tall at the end of the driveway, and you can't see any cars coming down the street. Like I said, this is a pretty busy street, so it just gives you a clean, open spot to actually see any people coming down the driveway or the road. And yeah, we're just gonna toss that back. Now, you will rip up the lawn a little bit doing this, but a little bit of grass seed in spring beats a claim on your insurance when some dum-dum runs into the side of your vehicle and doesn't have insurance, or it is your fault because you're leaving the driveway and blah, 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 blah. So, anyways, we'll just get along on that. And the thing is, it's easier to keep up on it right from the beginning of the year. other than when she's 3 feet high and then try to spend an hour and a half cutting the snowbanks back. It is doable. I have done it for people. It's just not fun. And that wraps up this video. Hopefully you liked it, me explaining this. And if you made it at the end here, you can do the normal YouTube stuff like comment, rate, subscribe. Like I said, this isn't my normal style of video. I didn't script this. I'm just trying to explain my thought process on how I clear a driveway. It works sometimes, works other times, but like I said, you can put the snow exactly where you want it. It just takes a little bit longer. You may have to move around a little bit. You may have to think about this and plan it out a little bit ahead of time, but it is doable. And you don't need to have a plow or anything like that. And I personally think a snowblower is a lot more versatile than a snowplow or a bucket. I have done snow with a bucket, and I hate doing it. I have done snow with a plow. I'd rather have a snowblower. Just my opinion. Everybody's got one, but we'll call that the end of this video here, and you guys will have a good rest of your Thursday. If you didn't like this video, well, too bad. I don't care. And like I said, it's kind of a rambly video, but it is what it is. So have a nice day. See you guys.